When you think of Skyrim's downfalls, what comes to mind? Boring enemies, not so intelligent AI, or maybe it's just Nazim?
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't. Oh,
For me, it's an issue not completely solved by modding just yet, but today is a big step forward to fixing Skyrim's stiff third-person combat. And it's all thanks to one of the newest mods on the Nexus, True Directional Movement. When it first came out 10 years ago, Skyrim was the masterpiece in first-person exploration and fighting monsters in a fantasy setting. But since then, we've gotten a little more gaming experience under our belts. True Directional Movement brings modern third-person gameplay to your game. This is what Skyrim's third-person combat looks like next to a modern master of the style like Ghost of Tsushima and The Witcher 3. Now this is Skyrim's third-person combat with True Directional Movement and the dodge mod of your choice. As I'm sure you noticed, this mod lets you seamlessly move and attack in any direction, and that's just the beginning of this mod's features. It combines components of different smaller mods that aren't executed nearly as well as this one. A lock-on system made specifically for 360-degree movement. While locked on, you'll face your target automatically. Unlike other lock-on mods, this feature adjusts camera movement with the target so they're not constantly centered on your screen. And fiddling with hotkeys to lock on and cycling through multiple enemies, it's not a problem anymore. You can set your lock-on key in the MCM menu, and for my gameplay, I set target switching to be activated by scrolling my mouse wheel up and down. But there are other options. The lock-on isn't just limited to melee characters. If you use magic or a bow and arrow, you now have access to two different kinds of aim support. Predictive aim looks at your currently locked on target's velocity and then aims at where it predicts the enemy and the projectile will meet in the air. Or you can enable homing projectiles. This is basically an aimbot that does exactly what you think it would do. If you don't like either of those, you can either disable aim support, which will temporarily unlock the camera during a target lock, or each option can be applied separately for arrows, bolts, and spells. Combined with smooth cam, this target lock feature is nothing like I've ever seen in modding before, and it's only one part of the mod. You've also got the option to use this slick design that doubles as an enemy health bar and a damage counter. It gives you information like enemy name, how much health is left, and the amount of damage that you're doing, and it doesn't overwhelm your UI with numbers and text flying all over the screen. Certain enemies you run into are automatically detected as bosses, and the mod will display their health in the form of a large boss health bar on your screen. Earlier, we looked to games like The Witcher 3 and Ghost of Tsushima for their well-designed third-person cameras, especially in combat. This mod really unlocks Skyrim's potential to feel more like a modern action RPG. Combat, sprinting, magic casting, and everything else now has a completely unlocked 360-degree camera. While in a defensive position, you can turn toward the camera and run away, or you can turn around to an enemy directly behind you. When combined with combat gameplay overhaul, the movement looks and feels modern and natural. And now, using your dodge mod, you can jump out of the way in any direction while moving around in combat. This 360-degree movement works during most situations, and the mod adds in a head tracking system so that your character looks at anyone that you're talking to as well as any target that you're locked onto. That way, so you're not staring off into space while you should probably be focusing on the frost troll that you're fighting. When I say this mod changes the way that you play Skyrim, I'm not doing that YouTuber thing where I'm overstating something to make it sound cooler. It's true. I've been looking for a way to modernize my game for years now, and while some mods help, something just never really felt 100% right. Finally, I think we're almost there. With true directional movement installed, the way I play feels almost completely natural to what I've come to expect out of modern RPGs. So, download this mod along with Smooth Cam and Combat Gameplay Overhaul, and let me know in the comments if you think this improves the feel of the overall game, or maybe I'm just full of it. Either way, like and subscribe, share the video with your friends in your own personal modding communities. Stay safe, y'all. I'll see you in the next one.